Hi everyone, and welcome to Online UWC. This is my name is Hannah Selina, and this is Robin Tyne.
Hi. Silly Hayes, and then go.
And the two of us are founders of Online UWC, and we are here to do three things, really. So first of all, we wanted to tell you about the origins of this project. Second of all, we wanted to discuss the structure of the course. And then third of all, we wanted to tell you about exciting potential future developments for Online UWC and for the Learning Circle platform. So we have prepared a short presentation for you, which we're going to share. Okay, so these two photos are extremely important to me, and you can see two of my favorite people on this, Sergio and Paloma. Paloma is the girl, Sergio is her teacher, and what you see on the right-hand side is a class which, in my opinion, is one of the absolutely best schools in the world, even though it may not look like it's particularly high-tech or very modern. So let me explain a little bit more about this. So a while back, in the fall of 2013, I read an article about educating geniuses in Wired magazine. And I was just absolutely inspired by how this teacher, by adopting student-led teaching methods, had managed to get these kids to be the best class in mathematics in all of Mexico, including all of the private schools. And this girl, who is a normal 12-year-old Mexican girl, to achieve the highest scores in a national math exam, even though she has not in his class taken any specific tests. And how he had done it is he had used methods of student-oriented learning environments, SOLs, to use the natural curiosity of the students to explore topics that they wanted to solve. So the links on that article actually led me to find out about another person who is extremely inspiring, and his name is Sugata Mitra. So Sugata Mitra did a TED Talk about his hole in the wall experiment, and that also focused on student-oriented learning. And you can see that that educational experiment setup on that photo. It literally is a computer located in a hole in the wall. And he had located those computers in a random place outside of his office next to a slum in India. And he was very interested to see that the kids who have never received any formal education on technology pretty much figured out how to use these computers. And then, you know, he did some work into those student-oriented learning methods. And in 2013, he won the TED Prize for his project of building a school in the cloud. So that was part of the inspiration, this educating geniuses, this hole-in-the-wall, crazy student-oriented learning environments thing. And then at the same time, I was also grading applications for United World Colleges for the Polish National Committee. And I was really heartbroken because we had to reject 80% of applications that I was reading. I knew that would not even make it to the next round. And they were just such inspiring applications from students who really had a great vision to change the world. So I wanted to do something that would allow these students to connect with others from different countries Even if we are unable to admit everyone to United World Colleges, I think that we can do more to expand this mission statement to a much wider audience. So this is how Online UWC was born. And we ran 3 pilot courses so far. And this is the 4th one in general, and the 3rd one directed specifically to UWC alumni. And this is how this wider project of Learning Circle was born, because we realized that with the methods that we used for running Online UWC short courses, we could also invite other communities to set up their own learning. So how does this work? So online education, we see it as actually a force for change. So here is a case study from the biggest pilot, which we ran in the fall last year on the topic of sustainable development with prospective UWC students, so youth aged 14 to 19 years old. So this map represents all the locations where students from our course were from. So we created this intercultural network of students, mentors, and experts. And then we organized these student-led interactive online classes with a very civics-focused agenda. So sustainable development was the topic. And what we were hoping for was creation of social impact initiatives with active involvement of class graduates. And the example that I show here is an actual project that came out of this class. So one of the participants in our courses posted a comment, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we started an online magazine for young people to express what they really wanted to write about? And about 50, 60 people said, yes, that sounds like a great idea, we want to participate. So since they got together in the fall last year, they have written collaboratively more than 100 articles, and there is more than 70 journalists, I think, at this point. And it's incredible that they have done everything from scratch. They created their own platform, they created their own structure, they researched the topics, and some of the articles that have been written, I have been personally very impressed and inspired by. So if you're looking for an idea of a social enterprise model or a social impact model, do take a look at what a group of 15 and 16-year-olds has created to really raise the bar for the kind of projects that you may want to do for yourself. So really what these online courses that we have organized are doing is we are trying to empower communities for action. So we take strangers or relative strangers, as in the case of UWC alumni, with similar motivations, and we turn them into learners who get to know each other. And we hope that they will become activists who have an international network of support and international reach, who can actually also drive impact in their own communities. And I also wanted to mention one more thing. So you probably noticed in the application process that you were asked to agree or disagree with the statement that you're okay to have the data be used in a research study. So I've actually since started doing a PhD at Newcastle University, where also Sugata Mitra is and his sole project are based. And I'm trying to investigate 3 things that have to do with design of learning environments. So the first question is how to design an online environment that enables student-led learning. So if you think that the website is buggy, it's because literally it's a work in progress. We are trying to design a system that best suits the kind of innovative class that we are trying to run. So if you have any feedback, do go into the feedback document and leave us any comments. Of course, email us. We're always happy to hear from you. Then we also want to know how to design a community platform that drives offline impact. So we don't want for the learning to only happen online. We also want to make sure that what you learn will actually be useful to you in your in your life offline. And then finally, we are thinking about how to design a financially sound and scalable business model for this platform so that it can continue growing, so that we continue having investment that allows us to grow this to different constituencies and to different groups and communities that could be interested in having this community learning. So also, our learning objectives are quite different from typical online courses, because we really are trying to get everyone to learn some soft skills, but skills that are transferable between different disciplines. So in this specific course, we're going to be learning about social entrepreneurship, but really, we also hope that the things that you will be learning about will transfer into lifelong skills. And these skills are teamwork, communication, analysis, and initiative. So it's very different working with UWC alumni, because you're very self-sufficient learners already. But if we start with people who haven't been to UWC or who haven't been to college, who are 14, 15, 16-year-old, what we're trying to accomplish is to get them to work comfortably in multicultural settings, and to communicate ideas clearly between different cultures and through different media, and using different online tools, as well as to gather information, establish facts and principles, and really be good at problem solving. And then finally, having the sense of I can do this, and have the initiative and the drive to identify opportunities and really make them happen to drive this community impact that we emphasize in the courses. So now I will let Robin handle the logistics session. Robin, are you still there?
Thanks, Hannah. Yep, I'm here. Yeah, so I guess the learning circle method, which is what you're going to be experiencing with online UWC courses, that's come about as a result of, as Hannah said, the pilot courses that we've done, and through a continual process of trial and improvement, I would say, that we've looked at. We've decided to try something, we've seen how it works, we've taken feedback, and I think it's been a really interesting process for me, learning how we do that. And as you can see here, we have three components of our course, which really which really make up our course, and they are the actually taking the class, and not just that, is that you share and you take part in a social and collaborative form of learning, where you, as Hannah said, you learn with people from different cultures. And the idea is that not only do you take the course and you share, and you learn through sharing, is that you make an impact. So a big part of our courses are actually the projects that students create as part of our short courses. And we found that a 5-week structure works very well for our courses. So we tend to have a first week as an introductory week to the topic, and then after that we have 3 weeks of really getting into different aspects of the topic of the course. So in this course on social entrepreneurship, we look at developing your idea in more detail, and testing the idea and doing market research. And then actually over our 5 weeks, every participant will end up with a pretty much ready to launch social enterprise. And that's because one of the principles and the really amazing things that we've learned is that actually learning by doing is the best, or one of the best, can be one of the best ways of learning. And by the end of the 5 weeks, having gone through the different processes of setting up, of building a social media presence and a website and a finance plan, every student, every project will have each social enterprise project will have a pitch ready to show the world their amazing idea. And even if not all of them are launched, because some people might not feel ready to launch their ideas or might just want to learn more about social entrepreneurship, we know that a lot will, and that's why we're really pleased to say that UWC International is funding a UWC Preneur Prize for £500 for one social enterprise group. And each week follows the same structure, allowing students who miss 1 week, which sometimes happens, you know, everybody's busy, to easily come back into the course. You can read through your the reading list that we suggest and the videos relevant to the topic, and there might sometimes be an assignment. So we all have this week the assignment to introduce ourselves to the rest of the course. And then on the Wednesday of the week, as many of you saw today, we had a lecture. Today was from Rob Wilson of Ashoka, which was really interesting. And if you haven't watched it, I thoroughly recommend it. So the basic principle is that each Wednesday there's a lecture from an expert in the topic of that week. And that includes a sort of presentation from the lecturer, followed by a Q&A with the students. And on the Thursday, there's a group session, which is 5 to 10 students from or course participants essentially have a 1 hour video conference to discuss what the topic of that week in more detail, whether that's helping each other out with feedback on projects, to networking on different sort of particular focuses. So if some people are interested in a particular field of social entrepreneurship, say in education or in hygiene or whatever. So it's a really good way to turn to create these international networks that are really important to actually driving change. And then the rest of the week is given to assignments, which are can be anything from developing your project to publishing a blog post with some of your thoughts on someone else's project or anything like that. And throughout the week, of course, everyone because you can use the Learning Circle platform as a social and interactive tool. You can comment on other people's blog posts. You can message people, and that's sort of continual throughout the course. And really, I think Hannah and I have both mentioned this already, but like it's a very much we really believe in student-driven learning, as in Hannah and I, and Hannah is, well, particularly Hannah's fast becoming an expert in it. But there are areas where we are really more facilitators of learning rather than teachers, in a traditional sense. And I think this really we by using the internet, students are they teach themselves and each other, and we do this through asking you to attend the group sessions. So you really get the most out of meeting your other course participants and giving each other feedback and making these connections and questioning each other that really drives this socially driven process of I guess innovation, and as well as this, watching the lectures and asking questions if you have any, because as you saw with Rob Wilson's lecture today, that was really great. How many people asked questions, and the great, some of the great stories that he told from that, and of course, as I said, it's been a continual process of trial and improvement, and it's still a process of trial and improvement. So if you ever as Hannah said, if you ever have any feedback, let us know via the feedback form or by emailing us what you think we could be doing to change or to improve the course. And there's also assignments that you complete, and of course your final social enterprise project, and using the platform as a social platform as well. So we really get the most out of, like, not just the face-to-face interaction, but the interaction that you can have throughout the time on the course. And then finally, I think I'll just talk about what mentors are. You might have heard the term mentors, and particularly in the earlier online UWCs we ran for 14 to 20-year-olds, mentors were mainly UWC alumni who had helped us essentially to facilitate learning. They were an essential component of the course. But one of the main roles mentors did was facilitate a weekly group session, which is, as I've talked about, held on the day after the lecture. And really the mentor's role was more a sort of supervisor, just to make sure that, as Hannah said, with young people who may not have experienced a sort of university-like education or this sort of self-driven learning, the mentors were really there just to supervise the proceedings. And actually what we found was that students were able, in fact, to chair the meetings, and the mentors were there more just to sort of put everyone at ease, and especially to help facilitate things in the early days. In the ice-breaking session, which we'll be having, well, on Thursday. So, as well, as Hannah said, UWCers are, we think, very much capable of self-organizing their group session. So mentors are actually going to be more kind of on call as a coach in a relevant field. So we have some coaches who have set up their own social enterprises, or who have expert in finance, or expert in startup development, and really they'll be, you know, monitoring the people's projects and seeing and adding feedback when they see relevant. And also you can read their profiles in the blog posts that have already been posted, and you can reach out to them if you think, oh, hey, I need someone to help me with my finance plan, with my business plan, or whatever, something like that. And as well as this, mentors also help us to track attendance and assignments, and this is particularly relevant for the other online UWCs that we've run. Really just to help us to, as Hannah said, the data is really important for us to know how well we're doing, and also actually to take part in this sort of wider conversation on what actually makes online learning effective, and can really be a driver of social change. And as well as this, mentors are expert lecturers. So Rob Wilson today was really a mentor, as he shared his knowledge about the field of social entrepreneurship. And mentors have also helped us to build the curriculum of this course, as well as other courses in the past. And so really, mentors can do any of these things, and are an essential help to us in creating these courses.
All right. Thank you, Robin, for introducing all the exciting logistics of our course. So finally, to wrap up, before I open the floor to any potential questions, I wanted to talk about the future. So where are we going with this project? We're planning a lot of exciting new developments coming up in the fall once we finish this course. So we have one course that we have planned already, which is the Sustainable Development for UWC prospective students, which is the course that we ran last year around the same time. And we are also thinking about potentially doing two more, one on human rights and one on negotiation, and that one would also be for alumni. And then we are also thinking about introducing more communities to not limit this platform just to UWC alumni and prospective students, and to create a Soul community and maybe even run the first ever online collaborative Soul method driven teacher training course. So it's very meta. So you will have a course that shows to teachers how to do the student-oriented learning environments in their own classrooms or in their own communities. So these are just some of the projects. If you would like to set up a community, or if you have a good idea for a course that you would like to organize either for alumni or for prospective students, do get in touch. We definitely want to hear your ideas. So the big vision is that this is how we want to structure this whole community. Is we want to have the 10 people in the group, the 100 in a class, thousands in a course, because this platform scales pretty well. And hopefully one day, millions in community learning together from one another and sharing the skills and perspectives that all of us have that are so unique to our experience. So I think that I will just end here and come back to the Hangout. Okay, so do we have any questions?
Yeah, we have one question so far. And don't forget, you can ask a question by typing in the question bar to your to the right hand side of the screen. So if anyone has any issue or anything that's come up that they'd like to ask us, do feel free.
Yep. So we have first question from Eugenia. Wonderful. I've already answered that question.
Yeah.
So is it possible to add courses or new topics to teach on Online UWC? So I would say that probably is the best. The best would be to add this as a new community, because I'm not sure that the topic is immediately linked to the mission statement of United World Colleges, but absolutely, let's talk more about this and what it takes to organize this course, because for both Robin and I, this has been quite an exciting time. It does take quite a bit to organize these courses, but it gets much easier with time. And you actually realize that with this platform, a lot of the things that we used to do by hand, such as splitting people into groups and processing applications and sending emails, all of this is right now automated. So really all you need is curriculum, speakers, and to try things out and really animate the discussion. But absolutely, it would be great to organize topics on different questions. So are there any other questions?
Not that I can see.
All right, so maybe we explained everything so clearly that there are no questions, and that actually is probably very good news for both of us, because it's getting quite late in London. We're both based out of London, and it's 10:37. So if you don't have any questions, then we're just going to dial off. And if you do have questions, but you were too shy or you didn't want to submit them in this Q&A feature, please feel free to either email us at hannah@onlineuwc.org or robin@onlineuwc.org.
Oh, wait, we have just had...
Yeah, we have questions. Okay, will you teach again on the topic you just mentioned? Okay, so we were just discussing this. So yes, so we sustainable development, we're teaching on this topic again in the fall, and human rights or negotiation are the topics that we are in the process of developing. So most likely, yes, if you'd like to help organize this, then definitely let us know. It's relatively simple to organize, and then you just need to promote and find the students and people who are interested in the topic. But it should be relatively low touch right now. Okay, great. So Eugenia, thanks. I saw your comments. So yeah, let's talk more about this. Great. So thank you so much for your attention. We hope you enjoy the course, and please continue sending your invitation. Your introductions to who you are onto the website. We know there have been a few bugs, but actually they are all getting updated on tomorrow morning. But if you notice anything new, let us know. Always love to hear feedback. Robin, any final thoughts?
No, I think you covered everything. I just wanted to say I'm really looking forward to the next 4 weeks of this course. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.